Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing that your alarm clock no longer controls your life. You don't rush out of bed because a paycheck depends on it. You don't feel that quiet anxiety on Sunday night, thinking about Monday morning. Instead, you wake up knowing that your time, your most valuable asset, belongs to you. That feeling has a name. It's called financial freedom. And despite what social media, flashy gurus, or overnight success stories might suggest, financial freedom doesn't start with $1 million, a viral business idea, or perfect timing. It starts with one simple decision, a decision so small and ordinary that most people overlook it entirely. And that's exactly why so few ever become financially free. This video isn't about get-rich-quick schemes. It's not about quitting your job tomorrow or making unrealistic promises. It's about understanding the real foundation of financial freedom, backed by research, history, and the habits of people who have actually achieved it. If you stay until the end, you'll understand not only what that one decision is, but why making it even imperfectly can quietly change the entire direction of your life. To understand why financial freedom begins with a single decision, we first need to clear up what financial freedom really means. Financial freedom does not mean unlimited wealth. Economists and financial planners generally define it as having enough assets or income streams to cover your living expenses without being dependent on active work. In simpler terms, your money works harder for you than you work for money. This idea isn't new. It's been discussed for centuries, from ancient philosophers who warned against debt, slavery, to modern economists who study wealth accumulation and retirement planning. According to data from the U.S. Federal Reserve, nearly 60% of adults would struggle to cover a $400 emergency expense without borrowing or selling something. That statistic alone reveals something powerful. Most people are not trapped because they don't earn enough. They're trapped because of decisions made long before emergencies ever happen. Financial freedom, or the lack of it, is rarely about a single event. It's about patterns. Here's where the one simple decision comes in. Financial freedom starts the moment you decide to live below your means, consistently, intentionally, and long-term. That's it. Not glamorous, not exciting, but absolutely transformative. Living below your means means spending less than you earn and using the difference to build security and opportunity for your future self. This principle has been documented across decades of research. In the landmark study, The Millionaire Next Door, researchers Thomas Stanley and William Danko analyzed thousands of American millionaires and found that most of them did not live flashy lifestyles. They drove used cars, lived in modest homes, and prioritized saving and investing over appearances. Their wealth didn't come from extraordinary incomes. It came from ordinary incomes paired with disciplined spending decisions. This decision matters because money at its core is a tool. When every dollar you earn is already spoken for rent, car payments, subscriptions, lifestyle upgrades, you have no flexibility. You have no margin. And without margin, freedom is impossible. Financial freedom doesn't start when you make more money. It starts when you stop needing every dollar you make. One of the biggest myths in personal finance is that higher income automatically leads to financial security. But data repeatedly shows that lifestyle inflation often rises alongside income. A study published by the Bureau of Labor Statistics shows that as household income increases, spending increases almost proportionally. This means many people earning six figures still live paycheck to paycheck. The problem isn't income. It's the decision to let spending rise to meet it. Making the decision to live below your means is powerful because it creates something rare: choice. Choice to save. Choice to invest. Choice to walk away from bad situations. Choice to take calculated risks. Over time, these choices compound. Compounding is one of the most well-documented forces in finance. Albert Einstein is often quoted as calling compound interest the eighth wonder of the world, and while the quote itself is debated, the principle is not. Compounding simply means that money earns returns, and those returns earn returns over time. According to historical data from the S&P 500, The average annual return over the long term has been around 10% before inflation. That means money invested consistently over decades grows exponentially, not linearly. But here's the key. You can't benefit from compounding if you don't have money left over to invest, and you won't have money left over unless you make the decision to live below your means. This decision also changes how you think. Behavioral economists have shown that habits shape identity. When you choose to spend less than you earn, you begin to see yourself as someone who plans ahead, who values long-term stability over short-term gratification. That mindset shift is often the real turning point. Research from the University of Chicago and Stanford shows that people who delay gratification tend to have better financial outcomes later in life. It's not about deprivation, it's about alignment, using money in a way that supports your future, not just your present. Another reason this decision is so powerful is that it reduces financial stress. According to the American Psychological Association, money remains one of the top sources of stress for adults. Chronic financial stress affects mental health, relationships, productivity, and even physical health. Living below your means creates a buffer, an emergency fund, a sense of control. That buffer doesn't eliminate problems, but it turns financial emergencies into inconveniences instead of disasters. Over time, that buffer grows into something bigger. Savings become investments. Investments become income streams. This is how financial freedom actually happens, not through dramatic leaps, but through quiet consistency. It's important to acknowledge that this decision does still look the same for everyone. Living below your means does not mean ignoring real-world constraints. Housing costs, healthcare, and education expenses are real challenges, and data from organizations like the OECD and World Bank show that cost of living pressures vary widely by location and circumstance. Financial freedom is not about perfection. It is about direction. Even small margins matter. Saving 5% of your income is better than zero. Increasing that margin over time is what counts. This is why the decision must come before the results. You don't wait until you feel financially secure to start living below your means. You do it first and security follows. That is the reversal most people miss. Historically, this principle holds true across cultures and generations. In post-war America, household savings rates were significantly higher than they are today. According to Federal Reserve data, the personal savings rate in the 1950s often exceeded 10%. While economic conditions were different, the underlying behavior prioritizing saving created widespread financial stability. In contrast, modern consumer culture encourages constant spending, often financed by debt. As of recent data, U.S. household debt exceeds $1 trillion, with credit card interest rates averaging over 20%. Debt is the opposite of financial freedom because it commits future income to past spending. Choosing to live below your means often means choosing to say no to unnecessary upgrades, to social pressure, to comparisons. Social comparison is one of the strongest drivers of overspending. Studies in behavioral psychology show that people are heavily influenced by perceived norms, even when those norms are financially harmful. Social media amplifies this effect, showcasing curated lifestyles that rarely reflect financial reality. Financially free people tend to ignore that noise. They focus on numbers, not appearances, net worth, not net image. That focus starts with a decision, repeated daily. What makes this decision truly powerful is that it scales. When your income increases, the decision stays the same. You don't automatically upgrade your lifestyle. You upgrade your freedom. That's how people retire early, start businesses, change careers, or weather economic downturns with confidence. During the 2008 financial crisis and the economic disruptions of the COVID-19 pandemic, households with savings and low debt fared significantly better, according to multiple analyses from the Federal Reserve and International Monetary Fund. Financial freedom does make you immune to crises, but it makes you resilient. Now let's be clear. Living below your means is not about fear or hoarding money. It's about purpose. Money saved without a plan is just delayed spending. Money saved with intention becomes opportunity. Investing in broad market index funds, for example, has been shown through decades of data to be an effective long-term strategy for wealth building for ordinary investors. The earlier you start, the more powerful compounding becomes. But again, none of this happens without that first decision. So why is this decision so hard? Because it goes against human nature and modern marketing. Our brains are wired for immediate rewards. Advertisers spend billions of dollars exploiting that wiring. Credit makes it easy to enjoy tomorrow's money today. But financial freedom requires playing a longer game. The good news is that this decision does require willpower forever. Habits eventually replace effort. Once you build systems, automatic savings, intentional spending, clear priorities, the decision becomes your default. Research from Duke University suggests that habits account for about 40% of our daily behavior. That means the right financial habits can carry you forward even on days when motivation is low. Financial freedom doesn't arrive with fireworks. It arrives quietly, almost unnoticed. One day you realize you're not stressed about bills. Then you realize you could survive months without income. Then you realize you have options. That's the real reward. And it all traces back to one moment. The moment you decided that your future mattered more than your impulse. The moment you chose margin over image. The moment you decided to live below your means. If there's one takeaway from this video, let it be this: financial freedom is not reserved for the lucky or the elite. It is built slowly and deliberately by people who make one simple decision and stick with it. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start. If this video helped shift how you think about money and freedom, take a moment to support the channel. Like the video so more people can see it. Subscribe if you want more research-backed insights on money, mindset, and building a life with real choices. And stay connected, because the journey to financial freedom isn't about one video. It's about what you decide to do next.